What's up, everybody? I'm Mr. McCoy, and I'm going to teach you a little something real quick about the cell cycle. So we're going to be learning a lot of stuff about mitosis and all of these fun words, and it can get really complicated. So we're going to break it down simply to start. We're going to start off with just learning the cell cycle because there's a lot of words, and we just want to start off with the basics, okay? So here's how it works. Typically, when we think about reproduction and stuff, we think about, you start off with some sort of organism, animal, spider monkey, that's my spider monkey, and whatever it is, and it lives its life, it goes along, it's growing, it's living its monkey life, and then it may have a baby spider monkey. Aww. A baby spider monkey. And then this baby spider monkey will go on its life while this spider monkey is still going on with its life, and it's a separate entity, and they're a little bit different. Like this spider monkey has little ears, and then this one has big old ears, something like that, but they're different. And you can distinctly tell which one is the original and which one is the new spider monkey. That is not the same when it comes to cells. Cells work differently. When you're talking about a cell, so we'll start off with this fun little cell. We'll give him eyes. He's not a spider monkey. He's just a cell. A shocked cell. So our cell here will live its life. It goes on and on and on. And then when it's time to make a baby cell, it doesn't just spit out a baby cell. It's not the way that happens. What happens is it divides in half. Basically splits down the middle, and now you have two distinct cells that are twins. They're the same genetically. They're the same thing, and you can't tell which one's the original and which one's the new one. Which one of you is the new cell? Both of us. Which one's the old cell? Both of us. They're identical. So then they just start the process over again. It's identical to this one. These two are replicas of this first one. They go on, and then when it's time, they will split into two. Which one's the original? All of us. Which one's the new baby cell? All of them. They're all new cells. And they're all the old cells. They're all just replicas. They just split. It's a lot different from what we're used to when we think of reproduction. So, how does that work? Well, there's a cycle then, because we still have all of these are the original. It just repeats. It's this cycle. So instead of showing it as a straight line like this, things go on and on, we show it as it starts, it goes, and then it starts over. We show it in this circle, this cycle. So what happens is we have most of the life, it's not changing, but then there's a period of time where we'll have, let's get up to here, we'll have a period of time where it's time to divide. And those cells will divide during this time, and then now we have two cells going through that cycle again. I don't know if that makes much sense, but that's kind of how it works. So we have this cell cycle. They live their life, and then they go through this time where they're dividing, they're splitting in two, and then they go through that cycle again. They live their lives, and then they go through this time where they're dividing, and they split into two, and then they continue to live their lives. So it's like they all get a fresh start, even though they're the same old version of the cell. They're like a replica of the original version. So, what do we call these pieces? This first part of life, this first section of life, is most of their life. We just call that interphase. That's like normal life. So like in your life, you're just living life, doing your thing. Humans, for the most part, just spend their life being humans, just doing their thing. And that is interphase. Fancy name. We like using fancy names. That's called interphase, most life. But then there's this portion of time right here, this small portion. That's the actual division part. That's where things are dividing. The division part we call mitosis. That section of time. And then when that mitosis is over, well, then we have this moment in time that we call cytokinesis. That's terrible. I don't think I spelled that right, but that's okay. Cytokinesis. So we have interphase is normal life. Then we have mitosis, and then we have cytokinesis. Cytokinesis is like that moment. So I kind of break it down like this. It's like, think of the life of a mother. This might get weird, but stay with me here. Okay, so if you think of the life of a mother, she's a young girl, and then she grows up, and she's living her life, doing her thing, and then eventually she may decide to have children. And there's this period of time. It's not much compared to her whole life, but we call that pregnancy for that 9 months. That pregnancy is like mitosis. Regular life is like interphase, but that pregnancy period where a new offspring is forming, that 9 months is called mitosis. A considerable amount of time, but relative to the rest of it, not so much. And then there's this one special period of time we call birthday. You had one. You have one every year, but you only had one. It really counts. That's cytokinesis. That's that moment. That's the time where it pinches off and we have two separate things. So interphase, that's normal life of a cell. Interphase, interphase, interphase. Just living life, doing its cell stuff that it's supposed to do because we need their cells to do their thing. But there comes a point where it's time to make new ones for whatever reason, whether you're healing a wound or you're just growing, because you guys are growing, right? So you need more cells. And to do that, they got to go through mitosis. That's that pregnancy period where things start to divide. And then you get this moment where, boom, cytokinesis occurs. Now, later we're going to go into depth about what is going on with mitosis. There's a lot going on in there. And there's a lot going on in here too. We'll talk some about that. But we'll dive in deep into mitosis. Like, how does that all work? But right now, you just need to know these three basic pieces. You got to know these. Interphase is normal life. Mitosis is where things start to divide. And then cytokinesis is that moment that we call it when everything separates. Let's just keep it basic like that. If you have that basic foundational understanding, we can build on that. I hope that makes sense. Interphase, mitosis, cytokinesis. Interphase, mitosis, cytokinesis. You can remember those three things. We'll build from there. I hope that helped. Let's see.
Ow! Spider monkey. Yeah, 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 spider monkey. Spider monkey. Yeah, 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 spider monkey. Always putting on a show when he's leaping to and fro. Spider monkey. Whoa. He's hanging and he's swinging. The comedy he's bringing when he's jumping all around the place. Such a fuzzy little clown. You can't be feeling